So who is Mr. Devin Lars? So Devin Lars of devinlars.com, so when you get a chance, Google it after he speaks to learn a little bit more about who he is. He's a celebrity speaker who was honored as one of the top entrepreneurs in the country. Under the age of 30, and at the United Nations in New York City, he was labeled as one of the top entrepreneurs. Devin is an accomplished speaker, involved in nationwide seminars, speaking at major event centers around the country, and is continuously invited to speak at high schools, colleges, and organizations, helping others to create and develop their own goals. Y'all settled in? All right. So Devin is also the CEO and co-founder of Doing Everything Different and D&D Designs and Screen Printing LLC. His clothing has been seen on celebrities such as Chris Brown, Justin Bieber, Trey Songz, 50 Cent, and T-Pain, just to name a few. His company also services corporate clients such as Tesla Motors, so those of you who want a Tesla, you know who to talk to. iHeartMedia, McDonald's, the NFL, Google, the hit show Criminal Minds, who all look towards this company to assist in turning their visions into reality. It all started from his humble beginnings in his grandfather's garage in a small city called, guess what? Richmond, California. We're very excited that he's here to speak to you this afternoon. You're going to love him, so please welcome Mr. Devin Lars.
A Fremont-based t-shirt company is making a fashion statement by doing everything different, and his clients include several celebrities.
Yo, what up? It's Kendrick Lamar. You can best believe I'm doing everything different right here on doingeverythingdifferent.com. Back.
Thank you. I appreciate it. So by a show of hands, how many of you guys here have a vision of how you want your life to be? Dang, okay, cool. Now, by a show of hands, how many of you guys here don't really know how you're gonna turn it into reality, but you know you will? So what I wanna do is I wanna share our story and our journey of what it took to have a vision. A couple kids coming from Richmond, no business background, no financial resources, to working with some of the top celebrities in the world. And I want to give you guys some principles that I've learned along the way that you can apply to your life, whatever that is, to turn your vision into reality. So it all started my senior year. El Cerrito, gauchos in the house? No gauchos? 2? Okay. Anyways. So it started off at El Cerrito High School. Now, I wasn't the best student. I wasn't even really a good student, to be honest. I almost didn't graduate my senior year. I never found anything that really captured my interest. Now, my best friend started airbrushing. He graduated a year ahead of me. This is him in the picture. And I remember every day after school, I would go to his house and watch him airbrush these model cars. And I suggested to him one time, I said, hey, why don't you start airbrushing on t-shirts? And he was like, all right, cool. He said, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna airbrush on the shirts, give them to you, and you go wear them and promote it and bring me business, you'll get free shirts. So at first, I was like, cool. I get free shirts out the deal? But then I thought, wait, I've always been into art. I've liked art. And I said, I could probably do this too. And so I suggested to him, I said, why don't we go into business together? And he said, let's do it. So I went home, and I was living with my grandfather at the time. And my grandfather was like that person that believed in me no matter what. How many of you guys here have that person in your life that believe in you? that no matter how ugly you are, they love you. And I was an ugly baby. I was looking at him like he was about to kill me. But he loved me, and he always believed in me and always pushed me to follow my dreams. So I went to my grandfather, I said, Grandpa, me and Darren about to start a business. Is there anything I could do to make some money around the house to get this airbrushing equipment? And he was like, I'll find something for you to do. And I said, all right, cool. So I think that was like on a Tuesday. The weekend rolls around, I'm getting ready to leave, go do whatever I was gonna do, and he stopped me. He said, Devin, do you wanna go get that equipment? I was like, I haven't done any work yet, but if you wanna buy it for me, yeah. So we got in the car and we drove down to Vallejo and bought it. Now, my grandpa let us turn my room into our airbrushing studio and the garage into like our studio. And so we started messing around with some custom shirts, and we did this one shirt that took 8 hours. It was a custom hand-painted shirt. I don't know how clear you can see this, but this was supposed to be a picture of Rick Ross on the shirt. Now, I don't know who the heck that is on the shirt, but as you can see, that ain't Rick Ross. So the funny part about this whole scenario is I'm showing him the shirt. We're at a signing, and I'm just holding it there. You can see the look on my face like, do you like it? I don't hear nothing. He's just looking at it like this. Like, I couldn't even get a, oh. I'm like, do you like it? And he just looked at it. So I'm like, all right, whatever. Hopefully he likes it. So I give him the shirt. This fool balled up the shirt, left it on the table, and bounced. Just left it there. I'm like, damn, you could at least throw it away outside. So I was like, I guess he didn't like it. So at this point, I'm like, man, I want to quit. I spent like 8 hours on this shirt, and this dude just left it on the table like it was nothing. So I'm like, I quit, whatever. So my best friend was like, man, we got to keep going. Like, don't let this deter us. Don't let this stop us. So we went down to Hilltop Mall, and we went to Shirtique. And the company was called D&D Airbrush. So we got T-shirts made that said D&D Airbrush. We put our cell phone numbers on the back that said, hit us up. Anybody know Mike Jones? Yeah, remember Mike Jones, he gave his phone number out? Yeah, we were trying to duplicate that success. So we walking through the mall, people calling our phones like, hey, I want to get some shirts airbrush. Like, how did you get this number? Like, I'm behind you in the mall, it's on the back of your hoodie. I'm like, that's kind of weird, but okay. So we started to pick up business. We started airbrush, T-shirts, and we got a little better. As you can see, it actually looks like Chucky. Now, I can't take credit for this. This was my business partner that did it. But hey, we did both get better collectively. We started to do jackets. We even did cars. Now, I don't know how clear you can see this, but this was a Ronald McDonald theme. We called them scrapers. And so we did like SpongeBob themed cars, A's. We did all these different cars. And so we started to get actually a little better. So we started to gain a little traction. We even did a boat one time. Now, let me put this in perspective. I was driving a 91 Toyota Corolla at the time. And we decided it's a good idea to airbrush the car because we're in it all the time. It's great promotion. But I'm a horrible son. Now, the reason why I say I'm a horrible son is because I made my mom drive the car. That's what the car looked like. I don't know if y'all can see it, but it's Bart Simpson with his butt out. Why we decided this picture was the best one to do, I don't know. But we said, hey, we about to be some young Picassos, and we gonna make it out the hood. And so my mom's like driving this car, like, Devin, I'm gonna kill you. Like, you made me drive this? Like little kids coming up to her, like, what's wrong with your car? And she was like, you know what? I believe in you, and I know you'll figure it out. So we started to gain a little bit of traction. And we actually got contacted by this reporter from the Contra Costa Times. And he seen what we were doing, and he loved it. And he contacted us. He said, hey, can we do a write-up on you? Like, I see what you guys are doing. I love what you guys are doing in the community. Can we do something? So we sat down, he interviewed us, and we actually made the front cover of the Contra Costa Times in the business section. Now, we're all proud. We're like, dang, this is dope. like MySpace was hot at the time, so it was like our MySpace cover picture, our profile picture. Y'all don't even know what MySpace is, huh? That's a shame. It was the first social network. But anyways, so we started to do this, and we started to gain a little bit of traction. And so we got contacted by this guy to do this custom guitar for one of Led Zeppelin's road managers. That's what the guitar looked like. Now, this was like the biggest project of our life. We're doing something for the band Led Zeppelin? Like, this is crazy. So I rush home and I show my grandfather. I'm like, Grandpa, we just got this big account. Like, we about to be rich. And he was like, I want to see when it's done. So it was a week-long project, airbrushing day in and day out. Finally, the day before we had to deliver it, we were up all night, pulling an all-nighter, trying to finish up. 12 o'clock in the morning, business partners and I are trying to get this guitar done. My grandfather's in the front room. And I remember, I stopped my grandfather. I said, Grandpa, do you want us to finish up tomorrow? Because I know we're kind of making a lot of noise. He was like, nah, I want to see it come out. I was like, cool. He said, if it's bothering me, I'll just go in my room, don't worry about it. And so he got up and went in the back. Now at this point, I'm juiced. I'm like, I went in the garage and told my business partners, I'm like, man, my grandpa's a G. I'm like, he really believes in us. Like, he really wants to see us succeed. And so I come back in, I'm cutting out these pieces, and I'm excited. I got music playing in my headphones. I'm like, yeah, it's gonna be a good night. So I hear a noise in the back, like where my grandfather was. I wasn't paying too much attention to it. I'm like cutting out these pieces. And so I got my head down, feeling good, feeling excited about the project, and I hear my grandfather coming out of the back room, kind of leaning on the hallway, like wall. And so I'm not really paying any attention, and I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden I hear this loud crash. And so I got up to go see what it was, and my grandfather had fell over and knocked one of the lamps over. And so I went up to him and I'm like, Grandpa, what's wrong? You okay? And he was like, just help me up. And so I literally had to like grab him and bring him in the front room. I ran in the garage and I told my business partners to call 911. I didn't know what was happening, like something's going on with my grandfather. And so I come back in and he's kind of on the ground rolling around, and I'm on the ground with him like, relax, Grandpa, it's gonna be okay. I'm on the phone with the ambulance trying to call my dad at the same time and calm my grandfather down. And it got to a point where he was rolling around and he made a noise that I'll never forget. And he took his last breaths in my arms. Now, I don't know if you guys have experienced anything like that, but if you have, you know where it sent me. It sent me into a dark place. Like I lost all my inspiration, stopped airbrushing. A month later, my grandmother at the time passed away. My girlfriend at the time moved away to go to school. It was one of those years. Some years that life tries to knock you down and bring you to your knees and make you quit. And it got to a point where I was like, I just lost everything. Like, I didn't want to do nothing. And so we ended up leaving. We stopped airbrushing. And we ended up getting a job painting car doors for Toyota. And it wasn't what I wanted to do. Like, I lost my inspiration. We're doing this job, and it sucks. And so I'm in this dark place of like, I just felt defeated. And so we're working at this job, and my business partner was like, dude, this is not us. Like, we got to do something different. I'm like, man, I just lost my hero. Like, I'm not trying to hear any of that. Like, you don't understand. You don't get where I am. Like, you were there that night, but you don't understand the pain that I'm feeling. And every day he told me, we got to do something different. It's not us. So 6 months go by. I'm trying to get used to it. And it got to a point where he kept saying every single day, we got to do something different. And it got to a point where I'm like, okay, well, what do you suggest? What do you think that we should do? He said, hey, we always wanted to start a clothing company, right? I was like, yeah, but we don't know how to do it. We know we can't airbrush it. He said, what about screen printing? We have no idea what that is, but we know that's the process of getting graphics on the shirt. And everybody owns a screen printed t-shirt. So I'm like, well, we don't know anything about this. Like, how are we just gonna dive into something we don't know about? He said, I did some research. They have some classes at Laney College that we can take and learn. Why don't we just go sign up for the class and see what happens? So I'm like, I don't know. I'll let you know. My manager at the time called me in his office. He sat me down, and he said, Devin, I see something in you. I want to promote you to team leader. I was like, I'll get back to you. I'll let you know. He was like, look, it comes with a nice raise. You're going to make decent money. But I think you should take it. And I was like, just give me a couple days, and I'll let you know. So right now, I'm at a crossroad. I could sit here and be comfortable, make money, but be miserable while doing it. Or I could take a chance at being broke, but following my dreams. So I'm going back and forth in my head, like everything negative was hitting me. Like, you can't do this, you don't know what you're doing, you're stupid, you're not smart enough, you don't have any money, you don't know how to run a business. And so one day we're driving to work, and he's driving, I'm in the passenger side, and we're pulling into work. We literally like pull into the parking lot. And I said, I'm tired of this. I said, you know what? Let's go sign up for that class. He was like, hey, don't play with me. I'll turn this car around. We didn't tell our managers anything. I was like, let's go. Man, we got in that car and turned around out that parking lot so quick and went and signed up for that class. Now, when I tell you this was like one of the best moments of my life, because I went from this deep, dark place of being depressed and not wanting to do anything to actually having inspiration again. So we signed up for the class. Now, there's two parts to the class: a beginners, where you print on paper, and advanced, where you print on t-shirts. So we didn't want to print on paper, but naturally that was how you had to take the course. So we ended up sweet talking the teacher into getting us into the advanced class. How, I have no idea, but it worked. So this was the time when Obama was first running. How many of you guys seen those Obama shirts everywhere? I know more of you. Okay, everybody's seen those. And so we were like, hey, let's get a piece of this pie. So we picked up business outside of class and started printing in the class. Now, we weren't supposed to do it. The teacher could get in trouble. She actually could get fired. So we had to pay her off. But we didn't have no money. So we had to give her shirts. So we'd be like, here, shut up. And so she was like, look, you can't do this. I'll get fired. Like, just one more time, just shh. All the students in class like, why do they get to do that? I'm like, dang, shut up. Stop hating. So we did it like 4 or 5 more times and paid her off. And she was like, all right, that's it. I'm done. You can't do it anymore. I was like, all right, cool, whatever. So we started selling and picking up accounts. And we sold at this one store in Berkeley. It was on Telegraph, actually. And so we ended up having like the window display. And so it got to a point where class was over. And I got a call from the store owner. He said, Devin, I need 24 shirts by Friday. Can you make it happen? It's like Tuesday. Yeah, I'll figure it out. And so I hung up. I'm like, dang, how are we gonna do this? Like, we ain't got no money to buy no equipment. Class is over. What we gonna do? So we had to get creative. Now, I'm not Mr. Bob the Builder, but we went down to Home Depot, got us some wood, clamps, and we built this. A one-color, one-station press. Now, when I tell you, we thought we were like the next Steve Jobs, like we just created the next iPhone. I'm walking around like, yeah, we about to be rich. And we did it on our own. So we set up in our garage, we print the first shirt, and we realized, dang, how we gonna dry the ink? Like, we didn't think that far. We was just thinking press. What we gonna do? So we said, this is what we gonna do. We went in the backyard, found a wheelbarrow, and found some wood. Stacked it up, brought it in the house, lit the fireplace, closed all the windows and doors, laid all the shirts on the couch and the floor, and we sat there sweating, watching them dry. You're like, it's gonna work. So about an hour goes by, we like, all right, we can't take this. I hope it's dry. We box up the shirts, chest all big. We go to the store like, yeah. We set the box on the counter. The store owner picks it up. He's like, oh, these look good. But why do they smell like a campfire? What had happened was, they're the organic blend. He said, look, these stank. Next time, give me the 100% cotton. I was like, okay, I got some Febreze in the car if you want to Febreze it out. He was like, nah, don't worry about it. We'll sell them. Just get us the regular kind next time. We still got the window display. So at this point, we're like, okay, man, if we really want to do this business, like, we got to step our game up a little bit. We can't be drying our shirts with a fireplace smelling like Smokey the Bear. So we're like, all right, what are we going to do? Who's going to invest in us? We're like 19 and 21. The little punk kids don't know anything, no credit, no business background, no nothing. Just nothing. So we're like, who is going to invest in us? So we wrote this thought it was a business plan together. It was just like some words and numbers that didn't even add up. And we're like, look, we need this equipment. This is what we're going to do. Who's going to invest in us? Nobody. Asked everybody we could think of. They just laughed at us like, good luck. And so we're like, who's going to be dumb enough to give us some money? Like, who's really going to be that crazy out of their mind to trust us with some money? This is the person, my mother. Remember I told you the one I made drive that car? So a little background on my mother. She has lupus, and she's on permanent disability. So she barely had enough just to pay the rent. But she inherited some money from my grandmother. And she said, look, I don't believe in this, whatever this thing you think it is, this plan, but I believe in you guys, and I know you'll figure it out. So she gave us the money. Now, we ended up turned my room into our office. Now, mind you, let me put it in perspective. We're in South Richmond on Fleming, right by Crescent Park. Y'all know the area. It's not the best one. We ended up taking the garage and converting it into our printing studio. Now, we're in here printing, learning, thinking that we're just going to get this equipment and we're going to be rich. It ain't work like that. We hit every learning curve you could think of. So we're in the garage printing. This is us three, surrounded by a lot of negativity outside. But in our bubble, in our circle, in that garage, we pushed each other. We stayed positive. We said, you know what? Despite the circumstances around us, we're not going to let that define who we are and what we can do. And so we started printing. We started going out, got back to the routine of passing out flyers at every event. How many of you guys here heard of Pink Dolphin clothing? Okay, so we were the first ones to print for them. They were like our first client. So we started printing for them, started a network, started to go back and forth to LA, meet people. And we decided, you know what, 2 years had passed. It's time to make that next step because we were tired of meeting people at Starbucks, acting like our commercial space is under renovation. They're like, it's kind of suspect. So we ended up getting our first location in Union City. As you can see, it's a little bit cleaner, a little more organized. So we started to print and we started to grow. We started to go back and forth to LA, pass out flyers. Every single event, we were there, passing out flyers. We put our numbers again on the back of the hoodies, and we went back to grassroots marketing. We were just like, we're about to grind this out, and people are gonna know who we are. So every single event, we were there. We were there, just day in and day out, always networking. So it got to a point where we ended up outgrowing this facility, and we got our expansion shop in Fremont. And so as you can see, it's a bigger press. It could do 600 plus shirts an hour, a long way from that dryer or that press that we built from Home Depot. So now what we do is we have an actual complete branding firm. It's the design, it's an owl. Everybody's like, why you choose Al? The whole concept is we help turn your visions into reality. Al's all about vision. We like that correlation. So now what we do is we service different companies like Tesla Motors. We print all the merchandise for the TV show Criminal Minds. This is one of the actresses from there. We print for Google. We print for iHeartMedia, the NFL. We have a lot of corporate clients, a lot of tech companies. And so what we are is a full service brand. So basically, they come to us with an idea, we turn it into reality. Whether that's, we could print on pens, water bottles, cups, lanyards, anything you could think of, we can take your idea and bring it into the physical world. So then what we decided, okay, but we wanted to start this clothing company. Like we wanted to, inspire people and have this brand. And so what we did is we ended up starting a clothing brand called Doing Everything Different. It's all about moving forward. All about achieving goals, all about being progressive and getting outside of your comfort zone and doing things that you've never done before. We recently opened up a store in Union City. We're in retail stores across the country. This is the retail store. So this is the front. We customized everything. And this is the back. Now, what I also do is I travel across the country and speak to thousands of students a year about having a vision and turning it into reality. And like I tell everybody, it's not about my success. It's not about what I've accomplished. It's about you guys. I never had anybody to come to my school when I was in high school and say, you're not crazy, like you can actually do this. Like believe in yourself. If I had that, just that one person to tell me that you can do it, man, I would be so much farther than I am today. So I just want to show you guys that it's possible. That vision that you guys think about right now that you tell people and they laugh at you, it's possible. It's possible. Now, remember when I told you guys, like, how many of you guys here have a vision and don't really know how it's gonna work? And I would get laughed at, like family members, friends, they would laugh at me when I told them this vision, like, you think you're gonna take over the world with an airbrush? I'm like, shut up. But I had that vision, I seen it when nobody else saw it. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to create a campaign, I wanted to create a commercial that people can see that they didn't feel weird about being a visionary and having that vision. And so we did this campaign and we shot this commercial and I'm gonna show you guys. If it works. They say greatness resides in all of us. And that all we have to do is see it, find it, live it, believe it. It all starts with a vision. Everything. And even though some people may look at you funny, don't understand it, can't see it, well, maybe it's not time for them to see it. But one thing's for certain is that when they do see it, they won't be able to ignore it. And honestly, the only thing that really matters is that you see it. I don't know if you guys can see it in the back, but it was the word visionary spelled backwards. And the whole concept is sometimes when you have that vision, people can't see it right away. So don't feel weird if they don't get it. You express to your friends, your family that I have this idea that I want to do. They're gonna laugh at you. They're gonna talk about you. They're gonna say you can't do it. But none of that matters. The only thing that matters is that you get up every single morning and you look in that mirror and you see it. That's all that matters. That's it. Now, everybody is like, all right, well, that's cool, but how do you do that? Like, what are some tips that I could take away that I can apply now that I could actually see some results? So I want to go over these 5 principles that I put together real quick. First one, write down your goals. Write down your goals. Don't leave them in your head. Write down what you want. I got a set of affirmations on my mirror, on my mirror every morning that I read. of just where I want to be, what I want to do, what I want to work on. Write down your goals. Read them every morning, every night. Because sometimes our mind is funny. It'll play tricks on us. We forget we get so caught up in the current reality, we forget the bigger picture. So write down your goals. The next one, take action. Start. You guys are at the perfect age right now. The cool thing is, because if you mess up, like, people think it's cute. They're like, oh, they tried. I'll help them out. Or you could run to your parents and they'll bail you out. So try right now. Take action. Start today. You're never too young to start, because you'll start learning. Now, the next one, focus on what's important. Don't get caught up in the current reality of things. Sometimes things suck, and it's just part of life. It's just part of the process. But look at the big picture. Don't focus on the small things, because whatever you focus on gets bigger. So if you're focusing on that problem, all of a sudden it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. Instead of focusing on the problem, find a solution. Take that time that you are so concerned about the problem and try to find a solution for that problem. The next one, believe in yourself. Whether you think you can or you can't, you're right. So believe in yourself. Have confidence. The last one, do everything with integrity. And I know it sounds corny. My grandpa used to always tell me this. Devin. I'm like, what? Wrong ain't designed to work right, okay? I'm like, dude, I'm like 6. I just want to play with my toys. Shut up. And he's like, no. Wrong ain't designed to work right. I'm like, what does that mean? He said, you can see somebody that looks like they're so far ahead of you, but they're not doing the right thing. And you're like, man, I'm over here trying to do it the legit way. I'm over here, focused on what I'm trying to do, but I'm not getting anywhere. And they just cut corners and they way up there. He said, but you watch. It could be a year. It could be 2 years. Shoot, it could be 10 years. It ain't gonna work, because it's not designed to. So whatever energy you want to receive in the world, make sure you put it out. Karma is real. Now, I got some shirts here from Doing Everything Different. Does anybody want them? Y'all quiet, y'all sleep. Does anybody want them? Does anyone really want them? I can't really hear you. Like, who really wants it? Oh, she's serious. What's your name?
Lucy.
Lucy? Thank you, Lucy. I appreciate it. Look, y'all wasn't listening. Listen, there was a lesson behind it. Everybody says that they want something. Everybody says that they want success. Everybody talks about it. They say, I want this, I want that. But no matter how loud you get, no matter how much attention you try to draw, you won't get it unless you get up and take action. Now, she came all the way from the back. She knew what she wanted. She was like, shoot, I'm getting this. It wasn't planned. I promise you it was not planned. So the whole concept, don't talk about it, be about it. Go after what you want. Go after what you want. If you see something, go after it. I ain't saying steal it. I'm just saying go after it. Now, you have to keep fighting. Life's gonna get tough. This is one of our designs. As you can see, it's a teddy bear. He's been beat up, missing a leg, missing an eye, scratches on his head and his body. But he didn't let that stop him from accomplishing his goal, which was to get the gold. So let me ask you a question. What do you guys think of, like, when you first hear a teddy bear? Like, what are the first things that come to your brain? Yeah, cute, fuzzy. What else? Soft. Hey, this bear is a little different. He has heart. So the reason why we picked a bear is it doesn't matter about the stereotypes associated with you. It doesn't matter about where you come from. It doesn't matter about what your grandparents have done, your siblings, your parents. None of that matters. The only thing that matters is what are you gonna do about it? Are you gonna go after what you want? Let me ask you a question. Y'all remember this? What if I would have stopped there? What if I would have let that temporary small defeat stop me? I wouldn't be here today. So when you start, your idea, the outcome that you're gonna produce is gonna be just like that shirt, ugly. But it has to start there. My teacher, my art teacher, I would come in every day and I would just be like, I'm ready to quit. I'm done. He said, Devin, chill, like relax, calm down. Like you're not gonna start out being great. It takes work. It's a process you have to go through. So it's not about success, it's not a destination like, I've made it. It's the journey of getting better and learning from your experiences and messing up and getting up and trying over and over and over again. It took 11 years of every single day working to get to where I am today. And I'm not even close to where I want to be. So it's going to take time. It's a day in and day out process. Don't get overcome by the temporary defeats. Now, if I would have let this and I would have just stopped there, none of this would have happened. And who would have knew? A couple years later, he would end up wearing the stuff in his video by choice because he wanted to. I ain't let that stop me. So don't let it stop you. Go after what you want, take action, and learn from your mistakes. And I promise you, it's an amazing thing. It's amazing. If you guys take anything, I just want you to know, start today. Like, start now. Start after you leave this event. Start working on it today. Don't wait another day. Take action. Now, how many of you guys here are on Snapchat and Instagram and all that? Okay. I want you guys to follow me. Let me ask you something. How many of you guys know what the Running Man Challenge is? Do y'all want to do it? You don't want to do it? We're going to do it after the break. How many of y'all want to do it? No? Raise hands, show hands, no? Like 4 people, really? All right, we're going to see after the break. But we're going to take a group picture. I'm going to be here to the end. If you guys have any questions, I will be here. Take advantage of these opportunities, these resources that you have. It's all about your network. It's all about meeting people and getting outside of your shell. So I appreciate your guys' time and attention. My name is Devin Lars. Obama out.
Devin, thank you so much. Richmond's own Devin Lars, thank you.